Peppa Pig, read it yourself. Going swimming. Peppa, George, Daddy Pig, Mummy Pig, swimming pool, Rebecca Rabbit, watering can, Richard Rabbit. Peppa and George are at the swimming pool with Mummy and Daddy Pig. Peppa loves swimming. Peppa gets in the swimming pool. George is scared. He will not get in. Here, let me help you, says Daddy. Splash! George gets in the pool. He is not scared. Richard and Rebecca Rabbit are at the swimming pool with Mummy Rabbit. We love swimming, says Rebecca. Try kicking in the water, George. It will help you, says Mummy Pig. George and Richard try kicking in the water. Oops! Try not to splash us, says Daddy Pig. Everybody gets splashed. George and Richard love splashing. Look! George and Richard are good at kicking, says Peppa to Rebecca. We are good at swimming, says Rebecca. Peppa and Rebecca go up and down the pool. Look at us, George, says Peppa. Richard has a watering can. Oops! He has let it go. Daddy Pig swims down to get the watering can. Daddy Pig is good at swimming.
Wow!
Here you go, Richard, says Daddy Pig. Oops! Richard is splashing Daddy Pig with the watering can. Try not to splash me, says Daddy. Everybody loves swimming. The end. Read it yourself with Ladybird. Peppa Pig. Fun at the fair. George. Peppa. Daddy Pig. Mummy Pig. Stall.
Wow!
Panda. Slide. Fun fair. Peppa Pig, George, Mummy and Daddy Pig are at the fun fair. Peppa's friends are all at the fun fair too. Peppa and Mummy Pig go to see one of the stalls.
Wow!
I love that big panda, says Peppa. Mummy Pig wins the big panda for Peppa. Hooray! Says Peppa. George wants to go on the big slide. Daddy Pig goes with him. George loves the slide, but the slide is too big for Daddy Pig. I don't like this slide at all, he says. Peppa and Mummy Pig go to the next stall. Mummy Pig wins another big panda for Peppa. George wants to go on the big wheel next. Daddy Pig goes with him. George loves the big wheel, but the wheel is too big for Daddy Pig. I don't like this big wheel at all, he says. George and Daddy Pig see Peppa and Mummy Pig at one of the stalls. Peppa wants Mummy Pig to win another panda. Mummy Pig wins all the pandas at the fun fair. Hooray for Mummy, says Peppa. Peppa gives all her friends a big panda. Hooray! Say Peppa and her friends. We love fun fairs. The end. First words with Peppa Pig. Level 1. Daddy Pig's Big Jump. Meet Peppa, George, Daddy Pig, Mummy Pig, and Mr. Potato. Learn and big, blue, down, funny, I, jump, my, red, run, yellow. Read television, everyone, costume, boots, muddy puddle. I can see Mr. Potato on the television, says Daddy Pig. Peppa, George, Mummy Pig and Daddy Pig sat down. Mr. Potato is funny, says Peppa. A cup for the best jump in a muddy puddle, said Peppa. You can win that cup, Daddy. You can make a big run and jump. I can win. I can make a big run and jump down in a muddy puddle, says Daddy Pig. Daddy Pig, you can jump and win a cup, everyone said. Hooray! I can. I can make a big run and jump. I can go in my red and blue costume, said Daddy Pig. Wow. The red and blue costume is funny, said Peppa. Peppa, it is the best costume for Daddy Pig's jump, said Mummy Pig. Help, I cannot find my yellow boots for my run and jump, said Daddy Pig. Grandpa Pig had the yellow boots. Look at the funny yellow pots, he said. Daddy Pig had the red and blue costume and the yellow boots. Wow! I can make a big run and jump. I can jump down in the muddy puddle, said Daddy Pig. It will be funny, said Mr. Potato. Daddy Pig got set to run and jump. My red and blue costume is the best, and my yellow boots. My jump will be the best yet, he said. Daddy Pig did a big run. He did a big jump. Daddy Pig came down splash in the muddy puddle. A big jump is funny, said Daddy Pig. You can make a big run and a big jump, said Mummy Pig. And you came down in the muddy puddle, said Peppa. Can the big jump win the cup, said Mummy Pig. Daddy Pig, you can make a big run and a big jump, said Mr. Potato. Here is the cup. Daddy is the best, said Peppa. The end. Peppa Pig, lots of jobs. Madame Gazelle has a job. She must teach the tots. Mr. Fox has a job. Wow! He must run his shop. Dr. Brown Bear has a job.
Hooray!
He must treat Peppa's spots. Mr. Zebra has a job. He must drop off a box. Grandad Dog has a job. He must run the car shop. Mrs. Cow has a job.
Wow!
She must climb to the top. Mr. Bull has a job.
Hooray!
He must tell cars to stop. Peppa has a job. She jumps in puddles a lot. The end. Peppa Pig, Marvellous Magnet Book. Peppa and George love visiting the museum. But the museum is very big and they're lost somewhere inside.
Wow!
Can you find Peppa and her family and put them in the dinosaur room? That's much better.
Hooray!
Now, everybody can see the great big dinosaurs.
Dinosaur!
Roar! Growls George. The dinosaur room is his favourite place. It's time for lunch in the park.
Hooray!
There's lots of food to eat, but where are Peppa, George, Mummy and Daddy Pig? Can you find everyone and sit them at the picnic table? Splendid! Now all the food can be eaten. Picnics are my favourite, smiles Daddy Pig, spilling his sandwich everywhere. Messy Daddy, laughs Peppa. What a lovely afternoon to go to the beach. But something's missing. Oh dear, Peppa, George and Mummy Pig have left Daddy Pig in the park. Can you find him and put him on the beach? Who else would like to come? Wonderful! Now everyone can enjoy some of their favourite ice cream.
Hooray!
Let's bury Daddy in the sand, smiles Peppa.
Sand! Daddy!
Giggles George. It's time for a party.
Hooray!
Mummy and Daddy Pig love parties. Peppa and George love parties too. But they're still getting ready. Can you find Peppa, George, Teddy and Mr. Dinosaur and take them to the party? Fantastic! Now Peppa and George can enjoy the party with their favourite friends.
This is the best party ever!
Cries Peppa.
Party!
Cheers George. It's night time. And Peppa and George are tucked up in bed with Teddy and Mr. Dinosaur. Can you put Mummy and Daddy Pig on the picture and ask them to read a bedtime story? Perfect. Now everyone can go to sleep.
Bedtime stories are my favourite,
Whispers Peppa, closing her eyes. Snorts George, nodding off to sleep. Good night, everyone. The end. Peppa Pig. Peppa and George love Easter. It is Easter morning.
Time to dye the eggs,
yells Peppa. She and George sit down at the kitchen table with Mummy and Daddy Pig. They take turns dipping the eggs into bright colours. Peppa dyes her eggs the colours of the rainbow.
Wow!
George adds spots to make his look like dinosaur eggs.
Wow!
He growls. The doorbell rings. That must be Granny and Grandpa Pig, says Daddy Pig. Peppa and George run to the front door to give their grandparents hugs.
We're here for the egg hunt,
Granny Pig explains.
Hooray!
Cheers Peppa. The egg hunt is her favourite part of Easter. Mummy Pig carries the basket of eggs outside. We will hide the eggs all over the garden, she says. Peppa and George cover their eyes while the eggs are hidden. It is hard not to peek, so Granny and Grandpa Pig offer to help. Peppa giggles and squirms with excitement. Ready, set, go, Daddy Pig shouts. Peppa is off in an instant. She quickly notices something unusual in the clover patch.
Wow!
It's a big green egg.
Hooray!
George is looking around too, but instead of an egg, he finds a dragonfly buzzing along in a zigzag pattern. Peppa skips to the garden. She finds a lovely pink egg hidden among the tulips.
I found another one, Mummy,
she squeals. George races after Peppa. He spots a butterfly in the garden and watches it flutter along. The butterfly lands on a purple egg near Peppa's feet.
Wow!
She puts the egg in her basket. Peppa checks inside each flower pot. In the last one, she finds a bright orange egg.
Hooray!
George keeps searching. He turns over a watering can, but all he can find inside is water. Peppa is still on the hunt. She looks behind a big pile of rocks and finds a smooth red egg. George picks up something too, but it is not an egg. It is a friendly inchworm going about its day. Peppa and George look by their toys next. Peppa sees something shiny in her container of chalk. It is a bright blue egg. George has still not found any eggs. Peppa wants to help.
Try the basket, George,
Peppa suggests, pointing to her bicycle. George looks in the bicycle basket, but it's empty. George frowns. The hunt is almost over, and he has not had any luck. Peppa has an idea. She asks Daddy Pig to lift George so he can see the whole garden. George sees a lot of eggs in the tree, but they are not the kind he's looking for. Daddy Pig gently places George back down on the ground. George has found an egg.
Hooray!
He claps his hands. Everyone laughs, including George. Peppa knows something else that will make George laugh. She brings him over to the watering can, where the ground is now slippery and wet.
Hooray!
It is the perfect muddy puddle. Peppa and George have fun as they splish and splash. Happy Easter! The end.
Hi kids, did you have fun watching this video? Then like and subscribe for more.